Hey everybody, Cam K here with you on ONTrack Weekly on GeForce TV. It's nice to have you in for tonight. It's getting all blustery and cold again, so hopefully we'll be able to warm your spirits a little bit with some racing content here on GeForce TV. Of course, under 100 subscribers away for 21,000 subscribers here on GeForce TV. Really great show. Really cool lineup of guests. We've got Pat Farrow from Sauble Speedway is going to join us first up on the show tonight. Then we've got Katie McDonald from Full Throttle Motor Speedway. She's also the main lady that you see in charge of the Ontario Late Model Association. She's in charge of a lot of the marketing behind that program. She'll be on as well to join and speak to us a little bit more about what that program is and how things are looking for this year. A couple of additions to the show as well that we, like Katie, that we've never had on the show before, including TJ Edwards, former champion in the modifieds and competitor in the super late model series for Oscar, and then Jacob Stavropoulos, standout in his rookie season in the bone stock division at Peterborough Speedway. Cole Camrath, a standout in the legend car division, an upcoming racer, of course, from the legendary Camrath family. And then Wade Thorne, somebody else who really, if there's any type of race car out there, he will be racing it at some point. So we'll have Wade Thorne join us as well. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. If you can give us a thumbs up, share as well. That's the big thing to get more people to pay attention to the show is if you share it, because that way they'll know what's going on. Speaking of what's going on, we're going to find out right now because we haven't gotten a chance to talk with him for a while. He's up at Sauble Speedway every year, a former champion of their bone stock division. As you see, he's got a lot of hardware that he can showcase on the regular. It is bone stock racer for Sauble Speedway. Pat Farrow joins me here on the show. Pat, hopefully you're not in a blizzard up there. I know it's been a crazy winter for you guys.
Yeah, just trying to stay warm, just like everybody else this time of year.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, you guys, this winter has been what winter is supposed to be. I think we've kind of forgotten it. We've kind of had it kind of nice these last couple of years where it wasn't so bad. But for yourself, this is a long off season. Sauble Speedway is a little bit different, though. We saw their schedule for 26. It's a lot bigger than what we've seen, a lot longer of a season. How excited are you to get going, and how do you like seeing all the changes coming to the Speedway?
Yeah, I can't wait. And, my little girl's the same way. She's been counting down the days, asking me, Daddy, how much longer till a race season? So we're both really looking forward to it. Sauble's got just a packed schedule. And, the bone stocks, there's going to be a lot of cars, a lot of races. So there's going to be some good entertainment this year at the Speedway.
Now, it's been a little bit different for you because you've transitioned from a mini stock racer to the bone stocks, when the bone stocks had 10 cars. Now, by my count, which is not an official count, it's just from what people have said either on social media or some maybe inside knowledge, you're going to see over 20.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna have a full field by the sounds of it. And that's awesome because like you said, I ran right from the beginning, and there were some days that we had some tough car counts and it was hard to see, but Brad, he really stuck with it. He saw the potential in it, and here we are. Like, we're the Bone Stocks, I think, are going to be putting on a heck of a show at the Speedway this year.
I 100% agree with you. Now, one of the things that I'm questioning, because you are one of the veterans of this division, you former champion of the division, it hasn't seen the counts like that. So, what do you think the field as a whole needs those first couple of weeks to make sure you guys don't all go into turn number one and wad everything up? And destroy a bunch of race cars, because that is entirely possible. And I don't want to say and be negative like that, but you have a bunch of racers coming in that have not raced at Sauble Speedway on a regular basis. Got a lot of young talent coming into this division as well. A young kid like Wyatt Sprung moving up from the junior late models into a bone stock. So collectively, as a bone stock group, you have a very good core group of racers that have been there for many years. What do you, as that group, need to do to ensure that you guys don't have a situation like that where you wad up a whole bunch of cars right away?
The big thing's patience. You just ease into it. We don't have to win her on the first lap, the first heat, none of that. Just give each other some room. You can race hard. you'll get some bumping and banging. It's bone stocks, right? Like we're gonna lean on each other a bit and all that. But as long as everybody races with a decent amount of respect, which is what something we have had, there's been a lot of that. Then I think we'll all get out of it, and you know, hopefully not wad too many cars up.
Have you had any sort of discussion with Brad, Phil, the team at Sauble Speedway as to what potentially might happen if you guys do have over the car count limit per race? Because there is a big possibility you could see over 24 cars for a potential weekend. Do you know if heat races would turn into there being an LCQ? Do you guys have any idea kind of what that procedure would be?
Yeah, I don't know too much about it, but I have talked a little bit with Brad, and I would expect to see some B mains coming
Okay.
up, which that's kind of unheard of at Sauble Speedway. But hey, you know what? Like you're gonna have to bring your A game if we're running a B main.
It is one of those things that is very exciting to hear, especially considering you guys did not have a bone stock division 3-4 years ago. Now you do. You've seen it grow. You've seen a team like CGC Racing go from one car to potentially there's even more cars that they're bringing out this year with experienced racers. You've got guys that have raced elsewhere that are now choosing to come and race full time at Sauble Speedway. As someone who's been there kind of from the beginning of this division, how does that feel for you, knowing that people are coming to your track because it is an attractive place to race?
I love it.
Yeah.
Like I love Sauble Speedway. And no matter what, I'm always going to support the track. And just to see that kind of support and people wanting to come on board and just how enthusiastic everybody is about it, like it's so good because we I think we've gotten through all those tough days with low car counts and all that, and now it's something positive and let's all have fun, right? Like that's what it's all about. Have fun, keep the speedway going.
Now you obviously are well known. You've got the 08 neon, the bright colors of that neon. Now, what's going on for you for this year? Obviously, I imagine it's been a little difficult. For those that don't know, you don't have a shop. You're out in you're out in the open, in the elements. So, have you been able to work on a car this year? What is the plan for you heading into 26?
Yeah, so there's the big change is I am building a brand new car for this year.
Wow.
And for the first time in the 13 years I've been doing this, it's not a neon. I'm not going to say what it is till it's done.
Oh no, it's not a neon.
It'll be the first time I run something other than a Dodge Neon. So I'm really looking forward to the challenge. But that being said, I got to give like the biggest shout out to Rob Sprung because he has lent me his shop this winter to let me build the car. And I can't even tell you how thankful I am because, like you said, I just do her all in the driveway. And if he hadn't been so generous to give me his shop to use this year, I don't know what I'd be doing this year. We wouldn't be I would be in rough shape, especially with how this winter's been.
Well, obviously, it's one of those things that you're gonna have to look at. Regular weekend racing out at. I know Graydon Bunn's losing his mind in the YouTube chat right now because he did not know this that this was going to come out there. But there are some big bone stock invitationals this year. Obviously, we've seen them at Peterborough. There's 50 lapper. We see it at Full Throttle. There's 50 lapper as well. There's also the Canadian, the Bone Stock Nationals out at Delaware Speedway. And then, of course, your regular invitationals out at, and your regular racing at Sauble Speedway. And, of course, anytime you can have something special like the Gold Rush with the Bone Stocks at Flamborough Speedway. Lots of Bone Stock action. Are you sticking close to home this year, or are you going to try and do some traveling?
I'm mostly going to focus on Sobel. Like that is my main focus. But, I'm going to be open to just about anything because it seemed like last year, anytime I traveled, it was just, hey, you know what? We're rained out. Let's go to Flamborough, right? So I'm sure those circumstances are going to come up again. But yeah, the main thing is I'm focusing on the home track. And I would like to take a car back down to Colors. Last year, I took the year off to help the boys out with their program for the week, and I think next year or this year I'll maybe get back down there with my own car.
Yeah, it's crazy. I keep saying what's going to happen in 26. It is 26 already.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
only 3 months away, almost 2 months now away, and can't wait to see you out there, Pat. Best of luck putting the rest of that car together. But you did mention somebody that I just want to get a little bit of an inkling from you. Wyatt Sprung. You mentioned Rob Sprung. Wyatt is coming into this bone stock division. a young kid coming in this division. That's something that you guys don't have a ton of. You got a lot of veterans in this division. So, what's the one piece of advice you want to give to Wyatt as he makes the jump from junior late model into a bone stock?
The big thing would be ease into it.
Okay.
Just get used to it because it'll be a lot different from what he's used to. But I'll tell you, like the kid could wheel a junior late, so I think he's going to have a lot of potential in the bone stock, and I know I'm going to do everything I can to help him. Just get that car out there and teach him, and he has a lot of great support. Like our core group there at Sobel, everybody's really supportive, so he's going to have a lot of people helping to teach him the ways of a full-sized car versus what he's used to.
Well, you know what? We look forward to it. Pat Farrow here on ONTrack Weekly. Pat, thank you so much for joining me tonight, buddy. And I'm not sure if we're going to see you at Motorama, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll make my way down there one of the days.
Okay, so we'll see Pat Farrow at Motorama. Thank you so much, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Awesome, thanks.
That is Pat Farrow, somebody you want to watch as a weekly competitor out at Sobel Speedway, a contender on a weekly basis as well, someone who could win at any time he is behind the wheel. Now, somebody we're going to bring onto the show is actually, she's well known at the Full Throttle Motor Speedway at Varney. She is almost the Jill of all trades. You see her doing all sorts of stuff. She's done photography, she's done videography, marketing, she's done the point standings. She literally does it all, but she also does a lot of work for the Ontario Late Model Association. She's been putting out a lot of posts regarding their stuff for this year. And of course, she's done work from them from the very beginning, and that's Katie McDonald, who joins me. Finally, we get the chance to talk, Katie, because it seems like we do a lot of work within the racing community and never actually get the moment to actually talk to each other. So how are you doing tonight, Katie?
Good, Cam. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Well, I'm really excited to have you on here because obviously you know Full Throttle Motor Speedway very well and the Ontario Late Model Association. So let's first start off. How are things looking for the Late Model Association this year? You guys have been working really hard promoting some brand new partners and you've got some good racers coming back. So how are things looking?
Definitely, things are looking really good. We have a lot of our drivers from the last couple of years returning. We got some new guys coming to join us, looking like a really good season coming up.
And that's what's great. There's also opportunities as well. You guys are really good at pushing what's available for partnership, which is very, very important in racing. Not a lot of guys do it, and we need more of the businesses to get involved. And you guys have something that's a little bit classic. You guys have a program. You guys have something that people can get involved with. How can people get involved with this organization? It runs more or less just at Varney. But let's learn a little bit about what it is. It is a late model association, but what type of races are they running?
So we're running a series of 6 races at Varney. That's what we've been doing for the past few years. Main purpose of it was to bring the cars that had been like sitting in the barn that weren't really competitive anymore, bring them back together and make a competitive series out of it. So it's been going really well. There seems to be quite a bit of interest in it, and the interest seems to continue to keep growing, and it's great.
It is definitely exciting when you have a program like this that is putting use to, like you said, cars that have been kind of forgotten about, and that is unfortunate that happens. I mean, it's similar to what we see with the Ontario Sportsman Series with the old CAS car or NASCAR race cars. It's giving them a second or third life. For yourself as well, you're your main lady at Varney for doing a whole bunch of stuff. So how are things looking at the track this year? Lots of, there's some new stuff happening as well, some new divisions and some classes that are kind of getting a little full too.
Yeah, absolutely. Things at the track itself are looking really good. Good registration numbers pretty much everywhere. I think it's going to be an exciting year, like you say, new class, the vans especially. But yeah, classes definitely getting filled up. Like the street stocks are looking great, for example.
One of the highlights, actually, I think, for Full Throttle Motor Speedway is the street stock class. One of the most exciting to watch. We got to an exhibition race last year. They're going to have exhibition races this year to show off why you need to come to Full Throttle Motor Speedway and see them on the regular. Really, really fun and classic, old, beautiful looking race cars on the regular. You also have crazy vans. Let's learn a little bit about this. Brand new class to the track this year. What is this? Is this similar to the crazy trains, or is it its own thing?
Similar. So they're going to have like a different obstacle to do every night. 2 people in each one. I think it's going to be exciting and definitely exciting for the fans.
One of the things that you guys are really good at Full Throttle Motor Speedway is the family experience. And we put this in our post for stickers and scuffs because it is very important that there are a lot of kids that come to the racetrack and, let's be honest, cannot sit there for a full day of racing. So you guys have a kids club. You have a kids club, which is something that's extremely popular, that's done very, very well. Let's talk a little bit about what exactly that is. Is it more drop the kid off at this kids club and they have something to do? What exactly does it all entail?
So over the years, it's more so you get like you sign up when you go through the gate, you get a prize or the chance to win a prize. We do different things throughout the year. So this year, kids rides are coming back. We're also we try and do bike races and power wheels once or so throughout the year. I know last year, the Ontario Late Model Association, we did a Frisbee toss. Just trying to involve the kids as much as we can. At the end of the day, the kids are the next generation and want to keep them excited and involved.
One of my favorite things that you guys did last year was the water balloon toss. I thought that was quite entertaining, especially for the racers to get involved. And the one thing that I'm looking forward to this year that was people were asking questions. What is the driver triathlon?
The driver triathlon has been gone for quite a few years. Like I remember it when I was there as a kid. So they're going to have to do a few different things, ride their bike, go for a run, and then get in the car and go to the finish line.
I mean, I love it because now this is open for any driver that is part of the classes that night, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
It's one of those things, like I said, we got to see these bike races before, and I had not seen entertainment like seeing Colton Everingham trying to bike a kid's bike around Sunset Speedway before. So it's great to be able to see this type of stuff on the regular basis for yourself. Obviously, Full Throttle Motor Speedway packed throughout the entire year. But I want to know from you, as someone that is part of the leadership group there, what is the event that you think people should be coming out for? Because it is going to be a non-missable event.
Two for me for sure will be the Bone Stock Corey Eccles Memorial, as well as the Crown Royal at the beginning of the season. I think they got great potential for great car counts and the classes to go with them as well that night. I'm sure the street stocks are on the schedule. I don't have a schedule in front of me, but I'm sure the street stocks are there. Mini stocks, Thunder Trucks, they all always put on a great show, but just those extra bone stocks that have the potential to be in the fields will make a great race as well.
The one thing that's always exciting is that you guys also do have some different classes that you won't see elsewhere. Mini trucks are just between you guys and Grand Bend. The Thunder Trucks, all for you guys. The Hurricanes, all for you guys. And this new division that's come in as well, Outlaw Modifieds, is all for you guys. So you guys have something that a lot of other tracks do not have on the regular. What is something that you think people should go and check out that's part of your regular classes that, maybe they don't know about because it's not at other racetracks?
Yeah, for sure. The mini trucks and the Thunder Trucks in particular, mini trucks, I find a lot of people comment that they don't expect to see full-grown adults jumping out of those trucks.
No.
But a lot of the time, that's what it is, right?
Yep, absolutely. And the one thing I know that people say as well is that they don't believe that these trucks can draft at Full Throttle Motor Speedway. And they can. The other thing that they tend to forget about and not realize, 4-time champion is Keisha Zimick. So she's a pretty badass chick. And
Definitely.
she's going to be back for more this year. And Katie, we're going to have you hopefully on a couple more times this year as we talk about the OLMA and Full Throttle Motor Speedway. But for now, our time is ended because we got a lot more people to come on. But thank you so much for coming on and chatting about Full Throttle and the Ontario Late Model Association.
No problem. Thanks for having me, Cam.
That is Katie McDonald. Definitely reach out. She's got a lot of opportunities for you to be a part of the Ontario Late Model Association or Full Throttle Motor Speedway as a partner, as a racer as well. There's lots of options out there for you. Speaking of more of our racers, how about this guy? I've been trying to get him on for a bit. We don't get a chance to talk very often. Because he's normally, when I see him, he is in victory lane. That's normally the case. And it's TJ Edwards joining me. Driver number 34. Now, I don't know officially if he's back in the Oscar Super Late Model Series this year. I could ask him right now and see if that's the case. or if he's sticking around in the Oscar mods. But TJ, thank you for joining the show tonight, my friend.
Thank you for having me, Cam.
So first off, we'll get started with how were things last year for you, bud? We know that the super late kind of you had some troubles, but you got back in the mod as well and had some success.
It was a bit of an up and down year. We waited for a motor for a while, which kind of held us back, but we learned a lot last year. It was more just a learning year to get our feet wet, and this year we're hoping for better success. We're going to run the Ontario Super Lates, and we're going to go to Owasso next year.
Oh wow! All right, so this is really cool stuff because I love that track. First off, you can see it on Racing America. Owasso does do live streams of their shows, so that's great to know that you'll be out there. How many events are you thinking about doing out at Owasso?
We're going to go and try and run all 5 of them.
Nice, awesome stuff. And then the Super Late Model Series, obviously, back with Oscar, and you're obviously a longtime Oscar racer. You are an Oscar champion, multi-time champion, Sunset Series champion. So how does it feel to have them back with the brand new partner JRS Auctions in charge of promoting this brand?
I think it's a good thing. I think they're going to move the class forward to the right direction. And Glenn did a lot for the class. Yeah. He got the class going again and helped it out big. But I think this is the next step to help them grow more.
Yeah, it definitely feels that way. I think that the tell TJ to take the hat off, says Steve Trendell. He's always here to shit talk, isn't he? Steve Trendell, last year's modified champion. Make sure that he's part of the conversation here. But yeah, obviously coming in and Glenn, we know, I mean, he's been the guy for this division. JRS Auctions coming in and being a supporter is huge for you guys. You got a good amount of guys coming back as well. But there's no debating. There's been some struggles with this class the last couple of years. And you said you were waiting for a motor last year that kind of threw things for a bit for a kink. Is it cost related? That is the biggest holdup right now for the super late models and getting cars out?
I'm not going to say it's not, because they're not obviously a cheap class. The motor's a big cost of them, but the chassis are a lot like a pro late. It's just a cost effective paying the money for the motor is what I think doesn't draw as many people to them, but they're probably one of the coolest cars, most fun car to ever drive in your life.
And as a fan for myself, I had never seen them until Delaware last year. And of course that was the race you weren't there. But they are, absolutely insane because they make the ground shake. They make it rumble. They're a lot of fun to watch. They're incredibly fast. And that's one of the things that I think attracts a lot of people to it. And I'm very hopeful that, like you said, you'll be out there this year. Do you feel you've got something to compete for a title?
I'm hoping so. We've been working hard all winter. Like, the car was stripped and we were working on it the Monday after Flamborough. So we're pretty close to having it completed. There's a few things where I'm waiting on my new seat and stuff and a few little things, but we changed a few things. I think we have a good piece for this year to compete.
And then the one thing we did see you back in at ACC was you were back in the modified for Oscar. Are we going to see you at all in that? Do you still have a modified?
Yeah, I still have Tyler's car right now. We're almost got it complete. I don't know how many races I'm going to run this year. I really want to focus just on the super, but we'll play it by ear and see when we get free time.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way to go about it, obviously. And then they're not racing always on the same weekends, so you definitely have the opportunity to go down to Flamborough for a race or to Delaware or basically, compete wherever you can. The one thing, obviously, going down and competing at Owasso is a whole different playing field, whole different track experience. But what's the idea behind going down and trying your luck down there?
It's just more time in the car. It's different competition. It's going to grow me as a better driver because you're racing against the best of the best when you go down there.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen it. J.R. Fitzpatrick did it a couple of years ago, and honestly, it was fantastic stuff. And they really do a great job at Owasso Speedway of promoting our talent up here. I mean, they definitely treated him as an all-star, and he was down there. I want to say Chase Wilson also maybe made a start or two down there when he was a part of it as well. And again, they gave the respect to our racers that go down there. And obviously for yourself, everybody wants to win a championship, but for you, would just finishing the season out be a good enough goal for this year?
Yeah, that's what we're hoping. If we can finish in the top 5 or whatever in Ontario in the points and finish every race, I think that'll be a win for us this year.
Yeah, it's definitely a difficult thing, first off, to be able to go out there, compete on a regular basis, be successful, and not have those issues, like you say, like motors or accidents. I think you guys have a really good chance this year with the Oscar Super Late models. There seems to be a lot more buzz and hype around it, and that just happens when you switch stuff over. But for yourself, the biggest hurdle behind the wheel of the Super Late model, is it you or is it the car right now that is the biggest adjustment?
At first we have a little car issues and stuff, but I'd say it's definitely me too.
Oh,
just
really?
learning
Okay.
with the power and stuff and restarts.
Yeah.
It's going to take a little bit of time, but I think we'll get it eventually. We'll keep testing until we do get it.
What's the selling point for me? When you're behind the wheel, man, what does it feel like?
Oh, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
Like, we always thought mods and stuff and late models had powers, but once you get into super, they're not even the same.
We look forward to seeing it all year round. And you know what, TJ, we finally got you on the show, man. You've been a busy guy and, busy working and winning championships the last couple of years. So I was glad to have you on the show, and we'll definitely do this again, maybe throughout the racing season. But thank you so much for coming on and chatting with me tonight, TJ.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Anytime. That's TJ Edwards. He is a winner, man. Proven winner in racing. Constant, in fact, winner in racing. He's done it quite a lot. And I don't expect anything less from the man himself. The one thing we can say about guys that make these discipline switches is it can be a very difficult thing to go from what you're comfortable with, like an Oscar modified, where he won multiple championships, won tons of races, and then going to a super late model. I mean, you're going up against some of the best racers, obviously, in the province. You're seeing the Sean Chenoweths of the world, Andy Camraths of the world, J.R. Fitzpatrick's, those guys coming in running super late model series, and then you've got to go up and compete against like the Brandon Watsons, Jake Sheridans, add in Dustin Marquette, add in Ryden Lapsevich, add in the passers who you can never count out anytime you're running a super late model race. Now you've got to add in yourself. And unfortunately for TJ last year, got involved in a big wreck at Flamborough, destroyed the whole right side of the car after just they had to wait to get their motor. So it was a tough go of it. But again, he's somebody I fully expect that you're going to see competing on the regular for championship gold. 100% I can see him doing it, just based off of his pedigree on where he's been. Now, I don't know if there's any truth to it. I would love it if this were the case, because Andy Camrath was posting a picture of him in a super late. I want to say it looked like it was Jacasa. And if he's coming back, holy shit, watch out. Because then all of a sudden we're talking big. Because I know Sean Chenoweth had one. I thought he posted his for sale. So again, we're talking about names coming in. Brad Robinson from OSS is supposed to be coming in as well. Jake Sheridan was on the registration that JRS Auctions posted. So lots of names potentially coming this way. And I don't think we're done, frankly. I think there's more names that would be a part of it, especially now that it's got some name recognition behind it. It was the Outlaw super late models before, but now back under the Oscar banner. I know Dave is really working to make this successful, and with JRS Auctions coming on board, it's a great start. Speaking of great starts, again, not master the segue right here, but one guy who he'll have more. Yeah, he says he will have. Andy says he will have more of a chance with the 89C going. Well, yeah, absolutely he will. That's a shame, though. I kind of wanted to see the 89 back, but decisions are made. I would have loved to see more of it. Same with JR. JR said the other day that he's only going to be able to make a couple of starts. So hopefully that some funding comes around and JR can do the full season again. Love seeing the names that come into this division. And again, I'd love to see even more of them, please, because the more that you have, the more action there's going to be. But legit people go and see the super late models. I loved them at Delaware because they were like, you legit, and because I was on in the infield, you really get a sense of how fast they're going. Yes, you see it from up top as well, but when you're actually filming them, it's a whole other thing, man. And they shake the ground. They're some of the coolest looking race cars as well. So definitely love it. And we were talking about coming into the racing scene, and this guy did it last year. We saw him coming. He was doing a great job promoting himself on social media, and that's Jacob Stavropoulos from Peterborough Speedway. And funny enough, we get to have Jacob actually join us on the show right after the day after the schedule drops for the 2026 season. And Stavro joins us. I don't know if I'm supposed to call you Jacob Stavro or Jacob Stavropoulos. I like saying the whole name, but you go by Stavro. So what should I be calling you, Jacob?
Either or works. It's if you could say the full last name, you can say it. I just shortened it up so that more people are able to say it,
people don't butcher it. Absolutely. I can understand, and spelling is always a tough thing for people as well. I hope I spelled it right tonight. We'll see, but you got the 03 out there last year, buddy, and you had it looked like the old Bill Elliott Coors look to it, and it was pretty fancy. Took a couple weeks, and all of a sudden you're up there battling for wins. So how the heck did that happen?
Yeah, I think it was just, being with a great group of guys that have been doing it for a long time with, guys like Ryan Babin and Ryan Oosterholt, Tyler Betts, all the farm bros. So I've been hanging out with them for several years before I even started racing. So, it was just a car came up at the right time, and it just all kind of came together all at once.
Well, and that's one of those things that anybody would love to have a season like you did to start their racing career. It did take a little bit. I mean, the first couple weeks maybe weren't what you wanted. But what was the turning point for you?
I would say it was those first couple weeks are tough, having to start scratch and just kind of fight through the field. But, you build up that experience in those first couple weeks, and then you get a little bit more confidence. You've made a couple passes and fought for some positions. And, after the first few weeks, we had a mechanical failure or electrical failure that took us out of one race. And then the week after that was when I won my first feature. So that was pretty cool.
It's not something that every racer can say that they were able to do in their first season in the Bone Stocks, obviously. And competing against guys like Tegan Stanley, John Bates, and of course, eventual champion Alex Dallaire. I think we're pegged for an amazing season at Peterborough Speedway in the Bone Stock division. If it is between you and Alex Dallaire once again for this title, not discounting John Bates, not discounting Victoria McLennan, not discounting the 18 to 20 other racers that can win this championship and win this race. Win the races, but you guys had some, pardon my French, but some fucking amazing battles last year. Between you, Tegan, Alex, even Kyle Johnson was up there in heat races battling with you guys on a weekly basis. Kristen Laval was up there.
Corey Horn.
Corey Horn was another one. Now you won't get to battle with Corey or Tegan this year. So what do you got to do to make sure you get past that 46?
I don't know. Alex, he's pretty quick. So I don't know. He's a tough guy to beat. And I think we're just going to have to go wheel to wheel all season.
I think one of the things about Peterborough Speedway is that people tend to, not to say that they kind of forget, but there's not a ton of traveling that happens from a lot of the Bone Stock competitors. Are we going to see Jacob Stavropoulos make a trip down to Delaware for the Canadian Bone Stock Nationals this year?
We'll see. Nothing's set in stone yet. obviously I'd like to focus on the championship there at Peterborough first, and everything else is kind of secondary if it jeopardizes our championship run, right? So I'd maybe like to even go over to Flamborough for Frostober, because that's between the end of the season and colors. So we'll see if that ends up happening. And but yeah, the focus is at Peterborough right now.
It's obviously one of the best divisions to start out in. Do you have plans to stick around in the bone stocks for a couple of years, or do you have eventually plans to go into the mini stock, super stock, or another division?
Yeah, it's kind of tough. I'm not really thinking past this season. Obviously I'm going to race something, but I know dating Dan Price's daughter, they've been trying to pull me to the dirt. So we'll see what ends up happening there. But bone stock's a great class. There's always races going on and invitationals, and it's a great class to be in. So if I stick around for a few more years, I wouldn't be upset about that.
And you know what? That's one of the things that I'm glad to hear, because I think that's what needs to happen in racing. And a lot of the times people like to rush through, and then all of a sudden they get into something that maybe is a little bit difficult, and then all of a sudden they're gone.
Mm-hmm. Staying
within your means is obviously a really, really big thing, but I can't deny that I want to see you race against Donovan Price. I mean, the guy has been touting your success for quite a while. He's been asking about getting you on this show for a while as well. So I don't know if Donovan's just being overly nice, or if he's trying to, butter you up or what, but what has it been like to be around the Price family? Because obviously, yes, that's an important part of your life, but what they are to racing seems to be bigger than I think other people might realize.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's cool having that, Dan used to race on asphalt, and Donovan's still there. And so whether I'm at the dirt track or I'm at asphalt, there's a Price either way. So, they're great to be around. And anybody that you talk to Dan, talk about Dan, they're always like, oh, the cowboy, he's the nicest guy you'll ever meet. And he'd give you the shirt off your back. And that's the kind of people they are. Even Donovan, offering me anything I need when I'm at the track there. They're great people.
Absolutely. And you get to race with a lot of really, really great racers being in that bone stock division. You were obviously a rookie last year, but let's talk about some of your competitors that you were with. Who were some names that you think really deserve some shout outs for how they performed last year?
Yeah. Zach Chang, he was out there flying. There was a lot. Yeah. Kyle Johnson, I know he had some tough luck later in the season, but he's quick. Obviously Alex, reigning champ. And Victoria, she's quick. There's a lot. There's probably, I could name, I don't know if I could name them right now, but there's probably 10 or 15 more that I could name.
I want to know from you, Jacob, high side, low side at Peterborough.
What corner?
I'm going to say 3, because that's my favorite corner to watch from the infield. Yeah. Because you guys just dive it right in there. But I'd like to know, going into 3, high or low?
I'd say low.
Low, okay. Are you interested in potentially more day races or stick to the night?
I haven't really thought about that one.
It's an interesting, I'm just saying from a eaten alive by mosquitoes point of view.
Yeah.
And also just because again, night racing is different from day racing. Heat of the day, but also darker at night. So I'm curious what it's like to be out on the track, because you guys do those. You do the heats in the daytime, and I can see everything there. It's fantastic. What about for yourself? Longer or short races?
I do like the longer races.
Yeah, this is common. And, this is common. I've heard this.
Yeah, and the night races are kind of cool, because when that temperature comes out of the track, it's completely different and a lot more unpredictable, and you'll see some stuff that you don't normally see during the day.
I definitely agree with you on that. And Jacob Stavropoulos, I love just getting to hear Charlie say your name every week on the because he can't always say it, which is awesome, and Ben as well. But to see the 03 up there succeeding so early in your career, you definitely will be somebody to watch this year for a championship favorite. Are you going to stick with the Coors look this year? Or are you guys going to do something different?
We'll just have to wait and see.
Oh, I don't like when people do that, but we'll have to just wait and see. Jacob Stavropoulos here on ONTrack Weekly. Thank you so much, buddy, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Cam. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. Yeah, definitely competing for the title this year. I'm just going to give you right back because, of course, even though we prep, and it's supposed to last, the battery is not going to last on the old laptop here. So we're just going to make sure we add on our battery so that I don't lose our next racer here on the show, who is back once again in a legend car, competing out at Sauble Speedway. Not 100% sure if he's going to do Great Lakes Legends as well, maybe some Ontario Legend car races, but it is Camrath Motorsports' Cole Camrath joins me once again, and every time I get to talk with him is awesome. And he's showing off the one of the nicest looking Legend cars he's had. Obviously, any car done by Image Wraps is a good one. Cole, did you get to design this one, or is this like your dad's design or your grandpa's design? Who was the one that made this beautiful looking 51 Legend car?
No, it's always been my grandpa that's figured out to make these things always look great. And he's always been the one since, my first year that he's been designing them for me and my brother. So he always does an amazing job on them and helping wrap with my dad. And I even got to contribute a little bit this year too.
Perfect. It's excellent. What's planned for this year, bud? Obviously, you raced last year, kind of Legends all over, mostly doing your Sauble Legend stuff, and got a Ontario Legend car races in. 4th place finished, best of the season for you. Not too bad at all. Got to race your uncle, and I don't know what the total was. How many times did you end up beating Uncle Andy on the track last year?
I never beat him at Sauble, but
that's the answer I was looking for, Cole. You never beat him at Sauble, so
I was close.
If you had the chance, are you moving him out of the way?
I'd have to say yes. I would do it to anyone.
You would do it to anyone
if it came down to that.
If it came down to it. So not at Sauble, but you were able to get him out actually for the Ontario Legend cars. And actually racing down south last year as well. You got an opportunity to do that. But Cole, how are you looking forward to this year? Because got a great chance of running last year. Lots of solid finishes. Easier behind the wheel, or is it more challenging than it was as a rookie?
Yeah, well, at least I got my first year under my belt, so it should be a bit more comfortable in it this year. And we'll run full-time Sauble, obviously, and then pick up the series races where we can, and Carter's schedule doesn't overwrite that. But and then hopefully we can make it down south a couple times, south of the border, and it'll be a really good year for us, I think, between me and Carter. It'll be fun.
Let's talk to that, Cole, man, because your brother, he's been in the junior late models for a couple of seasons, and then you got to see him win, which not competing against him though. You got to actually be there watching him from, I assume you were in the stands, but maybe you were on pit road. I'm not sure. What was that like to see him finally get that one, because he'd been waiting for it?
Yeah, for sure. I was actually down in the pits on the radio with him too. Like, me and my dad were on the radio with him, so I was the first one there to congratulate him, because I knew he'd just be over the world about it, because he's really been chasing that for a while now, and he's had some pretty bad luck with the motor at Sauble. Those few races where he couldn't figure it out, but after that, he was lights out fast, and First time showing up to Sunset in like 2 years. We didn't know what would happen, but yeah, he really was battling up front the whole race, and then gone out, got back up there, and yeah, we were pretty impressed with him.
So who's better then?
We'll have to figure that. Let's take it to Legend Cars.
Okay, I like this idea. I like it. I honestly think that we're going to see probably a Camrath in Victory Lane quite a lot this year between your brother, between Rylan, you, and your uncle. We just need your dad to get back racing. I mean, I don't know what's taken so long for him to get back there, but yourself, you're going to go out and compete on the regular basis. Very likely, potentially, you think you can get that win?
I will have to see if like another race kind of plays out into my favor, like it did that one race at Sunset. Maybe a serious race, but I'll have to be perfect every lap to do that. But yeah, I definitely think we can challenge for stable wins week in and week out. We're definitely a close contender with Jade and my uncle. Those few races we had there. So I was chasing them down the one race till I kind of messed up. But I think we can improve this season and work on our setups over the races, learn some more stuff, and we'll see if we can contend for some wins.
And you've had Mike Schmidt on board with you since you were in the junior late models. Right from the very beginning, he's still a big part of your program, and a lot of actually your partners have stuck around with you as you make this foray into the Legend Cars, which is great to see. Obviously, on a weekly basis, it's not the easiest thing to drive. There's a lot more challenges, I think, than a junior late model. Of your buddies that race with you up, the Allenford crew there's a lot of you guys up there. The Sawblue crew, you got Tommy Gibbons up there, Josh Davenport, obviously Caleb McConnell, Wyatt Sprung's up there as well. All you guys kind of race on the regular basis. Sawblue Speedway. I know Wyatt's going to the Bone Stocks this year. Are we going to see a Camrath go to a Bone Stock at some point? Or are you sticking only to the Legend Cars this year?
No, I'll just be sticking to the Legend Car this year, learn more about it, and probably just develop into it next couple of years.
Yep.
Hopefully get Carter into one testing at least the next few years. Yeah, I know. They'll be pretty pumped. But, we'll see what happens. Like, I think we'll just play it out from now on, and I'm sure I'll be in it with them the next couple of years, hopefully.
Well, it's definitely exciting. Obviously, you guys all have a ton of talent, and it's great because you always have the best looking race cars out there as well. It's just pretty nice to have. But one of the things that I'm looking forward to is seeing where you end up. And I don't know if it's ever on the possibility that you end up going down to Riverside for one of their big events, but or down to Charlotte. But I'm hoping that we'll get to see that from you because those shows are one in a million. Definitely it'd be a great experience to see you guys out there, and hopefully, like I said, I hope to see Josh or Tommy join you in the Legend Cars because they're a heck of a lot of fun. But top 5 in points, a win, anything else that you're hoping to achieve this year, bud?
Yeah, really just get some more pace, anyways. Improve on last year, hopefully, and hopefully contend for some wins and maybe even pull one out of the bag. We'll see. I'll really try, and then I'll help Cart throughout the year and everything, and hopefully he can get some more wins to solve with Josh out of the class who dominated the last couple of years, and then Tommy will still be in junior lates, and we'll see what happens. But
we never know with the Gibbons clan. They always we got to tell Tommy to stop growing first because he'll be too tall for the junior late, as we know. But you know what, Cole? Lots of great stuff to happen this year for you, bud. I'm excited to see what you can do out there, and hopefully we'll get to see you a couple of times. Obviously, I don't go up to Sawblue a ton, but we're going to change that this year. So we'll be going up there to see you guys race on the regular, and best of luck. But I don't think we're going to see you at Motorama, but you know what? We're excited regardless to see you out there. Let's take a moment, buddy, and let's talk about your partners on the race car, and you can shout them out.
Yeah. So we got London Recreational Racing, as you already had said, big supporter of us since day one. So thanks to Mike Schmidt and the whole team there. We got Hamilton Ruffins, Next Level Automotive, Simple Spray Foam Solutions, Amadraps for this beauty of a piece. ATAX Drywall, Burns Motorworks, Nickerson Electric, AM Group Exteriors, K&K Pest Control, Marvin Freiberger Truck and Trailer Repair, and you guys on the car this year.
Yeah, that's right, buddy.
As always.
That's right, buddy. We're excited. Right on the windshield, right in front of you like Ricky Bobby, right? That's what we want. Cole Camerath, thank you so much, buddy. Can't wait to talk to you more throughout the year.
Okay, thank you.
That is Cole Camerath, one of your up and coming racers to watch this year. And I really think the kid's got so much poise behind the wheel, and just in general, I mean, he's got the Camerath gene. He's the Camerath name. And as you see with Andy, they don't stop winning. It doesn't matter what age they are. And I'll tell you this year, his cousin and his brother they're gonna clean up shop at Sawbull. If that's where Ryland, I'm not sure if that's where Ryland is racing this year, but he showed last year that kid can drive he's like the youngest one that was there last year at Sawbull, and multiple podiums, and he got a win out at Sunset. So and then Carter going out and winning the junior late. So I think the Camerath family is going to be in for some wins this year. Speaking of coming in for wins, there's nobody other than when it comes to winning that does it in quite a regular fashion than Wade Thorne, and he joins me now. We were close to being on time there, Wade, but sometimes we just like to chat a little bit longer. How's everything going with you, my friend?
Pretty good. Just
excellent.
Starting to get ready to go for the season. Kind of just started now.
You know what? I wouldn't blame you. A lot of people, I think, are not really willing to start working on stuff because it's been cold and it's been snowy and everybody just wants to stay inside. And I'd be one of those people, and I don't even have a race car to work on. But you've got some plans, obviously, for this year. Do we know what you're going to be doing? I expect we're going to see you Ohsweken Speedway once again competing in the mini stock division.
Yeah, definitely. We'll be full-time on Ohsweken again. We're going to figure out both my cars. I've had my Cobalt going last year, my Cavalier the year before. Like, we're going to get both of them ready just so I don't have to grind week in, week out to make sure it's ready to go. And my dad's going to be jumping in our 24 car. And I think Chase Mitchell's coming back part-time. He had a good time in it last year, so I think he's going to come part-time in our 15 car.
I was talking with a couple people from Ohsweken Speedway regarding the mini stocks. We're going to have Jeff Elslinger actually on Stickers and Scuffs on Thursday. It would be great to have a nice chat with him, talk to Spencer Riddell. And frankly, the amount of buzz behind where the mini stock program might be in 2026 is there's talk like the amount of racers that could come out again this year. You could be looking at B mains or C mains with how many cars are coming out, which means it's going to be even more difficult to make it into the A mains every week. Not that you had a real big issue doing that, but it does add a little bit of that stress on the regular basis of having to make it and not screw up first off. So as a team owner, as a car owner, what do you have to do on a weekly basis to ensure that happens?
It's tough. It's such a different world going to the asphalt. I mean, you show up to an asphalt track now and you know you're locked in, like the bone stocks are starting to get to the point we get to the big shows. We're getting 50 cars. I mean, Frostfest is like Mike Schmidt's been doing a great job with Frostfest this year. Get 50 cars.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you go to the dirt side, like every week we're racing for $300 and we got 40 cars showing up trying to get in. And, we've brought 4 cars to the track sometimes. Most of the time we just bring 3. And yeah, like we spent all the Thursday night, like we're all night in the shop, just doing the last second bolt checks. We're still like unloading from Saturday night on the asphalt stuff, and Sunday there's just not a lot of time off in between, and getting the cars prepped. We're just constantly going, and it's a lot of work. It's nice now we got a nice big shop, and we got a hoist this year, so I think it's gonna speed up our process quite a bit. Definitely with the tire prep and just kind of going over underneath the car, because We had a couple frame issues this year. Phil wrecked one of our cars pretty bad, which we should have caught earlier, but yeah, should have caught earlier. But it's hard to tell when you can't get the car up in the air every week. So
I think that's one of the things though that you were saying, Wade. Like the reality is the dirt racing, if you get in a wreck there, the chances are you're not as damaged. If I'm not mistaken, like that's typically.
I think it's the opposite. I mean.
Oh really? You think it's worse?
Like asphalt, like when we hit wreck at Flamborough, usually you're hitting the wall pretty hard there, and you're bending frames. But most of the time, you can pull those pure stocks back. With the minis, like we don't wreck a lot. But when we wreck, like our cars are done. Like most of the time, like they're like I can't count how many times Mark Cavaliers come back. Like minor stuff. I got some. Jeremy Cooper got spun in front of me a couple years ago, and I clipped him. You watch the video; it doesn't even look like I hit him, and we can't even pull the bumper cover off, and I had to reclip the car. The whole full front frame was bent.
No shit, eh?
We're flying around that place, like we're wide open all the time, all the way around the track, top, bottom, like everyone's just going full tilt, and when you hit there, like you bend stuff bad.
And it's one of those things with like, luckily you guys have a really good track prep on a regular basis. The track's not normally really gummy, not really full of rocks or anything like you don't have shit like that on a regular basis, which is very lucky because I imagine suspension, especially being a place of contention where if you get something caught in a rut, you're doing a fuck ton of damage. Whereas typically on asphalt, you're not going to have that because the track is paved. So you shouldn't be hitting any sort of rut, anything that's going to tear suspension pieces out. Because there's a couple of wrecks last year that we saw that people actually went over because they hit a rut and it flips the car. The mini stock division on a regular, you're not doing what you see at Flamborough. Flamborough, you go 2, maybe 3 wide. You guys are going like 6 wide on lap number 1. Which is great, which again, for a fan perspective is amazing. For a driver perspective, we've talked about this a lot. I think that you guys have a much harder time, obviously, when you have that, because you're not, if I'm not mistaken, no radios.
No radios, no mirrors.
No radios, no mirrors, natural instinct. And if you're not very good at covering yourself, you're wrecked.
There's a lot more respect, I think. Like you get on asphalt, like I see it all the time. You get a guy who gets his nose in on a bumper cover. Somebody comes down, they wreck, they spin out, everyone's mad, they're fighting in the pits. Where on dirt, like I've been at a guy's right rear tire coming on the backstretch and he's coming to the wall, and it's like I could not lift and put him in the wall, and technically it's his fault, but I know that he can't see me, so I need to get out of it. And usually, you give a guy 1 or 2 and they do it the 3rd time, that's when you give him the bumper. But it's definitely, I mean, like there's some guys out there, like we've had some great battles door to door, and you're beating and banging, but you're not driving through guys. Like I think Tim DeBoer and I had about 30 laps this year. We ran door to door, and there's purple all over the inside of my car. And after it's like, that was great. Like on the asphalt side, you start roughing guys up like that, they get so upset. And I think that's the dirt world's so different. Like just you expect it. You expect the rough track. You expect the bouncing. You expect the contact, and then you got. It's such a give and take world.
Is it something that they could transfer over, or do you think it's 2 different worlds and you can't?
It's 2 different worlds. We're converting a lot of asphalt guys to the dirt. Yeah, they're loving it, but it's really 2 different worlds. Like there's it's 2 great worlds. I mean, I think the asphalt size is what's given us so much success on the dirt. Just being so, you have to have so much precision, and your setup's got to be perfect. And if you get your setup close on dirt, you can be awesome. But it's so different. Just coming to the asphalt and having to make sure everything on the car is exactly right and exactly straight. Just that makes it a lot more fun too.
Oshrika Speedway is one of the best things for racing because it's also not just that it's a great facility, well run, constantly improving, constantly promoting, has options like GeForce TV where they do the live streams. But when they do the live streams, they are constantly putting on the product for free. They are promoting you guys and something for your partners, whereas a lot of other places, you're not getting any of that. So there's a constant push and pull between whether or not streaming is something useful or if it's helping or hurting the product. You obviously have been a part of both of those avenues, racing on dirt and on asphalt. So for yourself, getting to see every race weekend recorded, you can rewatch it all. Whereas, yes, pedal power is the best in the world, and they do an amazing job, but they're not always at every track, and they're not there every week. So that's not always a luxury that you can get. Where do you feel as the streaming side of things, as a racer, where do you kind of see that as do you see it more as a plus, as more than a negative? Is it something that you have been able to utilize for your partners, for yourself, for your team?
Yeah, it's an insane plus. I remember when we started out, and like 2013, 14, pedal power was just kind of getting started, and when I was developing as a driver, being able, they catch a couple of our races, being able to go on and get some feedback of what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, and now like we have probably 5-6 first-time dirt drivers in our cars every year, being able to go on the video after, be like, hey, like see where you're running low, see where you're running high. We go watch them on hot laps, watch their heat race. Most of the time we've been pretty fortunate. We've had some guys make it in the show out of their heat, but we've had a few that haven't. We can sit in the trailer and be like, hey, like see where your 3 lanes too low, you need to drive it in 4 or 5 car lengths deeper here. It's huge on the driver's side, and it's definitely it's nice when you walk up to a sponsor or a partner and be like, hey, like your name's on the side of our car. Every time we're on the pad, you get to see a quarter panel. I mean, Nick loves it. Every time my 46 car makes it on the pad, he always sends me a picture of his logo sitting on the quarter panel. So, I mean, it's a huge perk for us.
It's funny because Spencer Riddell actually says that half the time we don't even know we're 5 to 6 wide, which even makes it funnier because I was like, how could you not? How could you not? But the track is that wide. It does narrow quite significantly. You've obviously been running the mini stocks for a couple of years. Do you ever have plans to maybe think about a Thunderstock?
The Thunderstocks, yeah, we've talked about it. We've hummed and hawed about it. It's just it's one of those things where like the next step is just like we know we got to fully commit on that, and we just love racing so much. We know if we take up to the V8 level, the cost of the engines is so much that if we lose one, like there's half our year, right? Whereas like these cars, like we're still like the cost of motors, the Ecotechs are coming up a little bit, but it's still $500. Like we can still get a motor together. We're fortunate enough that like we still got a couple parts Cavaliers in the field. We got some Cobalts, but we have enough cars that we can still race every week. And I think we've been up, gotten the CBMs. We've run the hot rod with Nick. I think we're talked maybe running the hot rod with Chris this year, and maybe with Nick again. And that's enough. I mean, like moving up is a big step. I've seen a lot of guys. Like I've had tons of friends over the years that have moved up, done it for 2 years, and they don't even race anymore. So I know that if we take that big step, you hop into that $20,000-$30,000 race car budget. That's when you start to fall out of love with it. And I think we're in a good spot. We're racing a lot. We can run 50-60 races a year. We can run 30 races if we want. We can run 10 races if we want, and it's not crazy expensive.
That's one of the things that I love. I just touched on race within your means. It's one of those things that I think, like you said, you got people that used to do it and don't even race anymore because, unfortunately, that is the pattern is that, I've got to move up to something right away. That's more expensive. And then all of a sudden it doesn't go well. And then you're out of money and you're done. Stay within your means. Be successful within those means. But I did not hear Pro Challenge. You have to race against Emma at one point. We need to see Wade versus Emma in the Pro Challenge division. We talked about this, Wade. When am I seeing you in the Pro Challenge?
Oh, I don't know. I think that might stay separate for a bit. We'll see.
You'll get schooled, obviously, but
yeah, probably. They're pushing. They ask me all the time. I know Ethan Fleets might be missing a couple races here, so they've kind of asked me if I might jump in their car. I initially said no, but we're still kind of on the fence on it. But I don't know. I'm happy up in the spotter stand. It's a little less stressful. You get the enjoyment of once you win. So I definitely have a lot of fun spotting. And my buddy Jake doesn't race late models much anymore, so I don't get to go spot for him. So it's nice being up. It's nice being up, like spotting for her and having a good time doing that too, and being a part of it. But yeah, it's just being able to just bring the pure stock out when you go. It's a little less stressful. We can go and have some fun, and it takes a lot of the pressure off.
And we're expecting to see you in pure stock at all this year, or just sticking with mini stock at dirt?
We'll probably be between 8-10 races. Nothing too crazy. We're building a new car.
Nice.
We got a new concept coming.
Yeah.
Little NASCAR throwbacks coming.
We're not going to talk about what it is because
we'll keep our secrets for now. But it's gonna be a good piece. We got some good guys on board for it. Get some good stuff together for it. So Chris put an awesome cage in it. We're just we got the Buxton Enduro. My dad's driving in this weekend. We've kind of been grinding, building this Enduro car. So that's kind of got us back in the shop, kind of got us riled up again. So now that once that's done, we'll be probably full bore on the new car.
Sounds awesome. Wade Thor, thank you so much for joining me tonight, buddy. And we'll talk to you real soon. And we'll have you back on during the season.
Right on. Thank you.
That is our buddy Wade Thorne. Man, he's always so fun to watch out on the track. And great interview. Always fun to talk to, as was everybody tonight on the show. And thank you for all tuning in and being a part of things. It's we still got lots to try and have on the show in the coming weeks and see we can get a couple more names that haven't been on the show before. If you haven't, of course, reach out to me and we'll see what we can do. I'm trying to get my mouse in position because there's a cat in the way. I'm trying to move my mouse to end the show and I can't because she's in the way. But I really appreciate everybody for coming in and be a part of the show. Again, like I said, SNS will be on this Thursday. Check us out on our Facebook page, Stickers and Scuffs. We've got Jeff Elslinger from Ocean Weekend Speedway is going to be on here for his very first episode. Trevor Culver is going to be on for his, first episode on SNS as an SNS racer. So we're very excited about that. And Del Freiberger is going to join us as well, hear a little bit about what Del's plans are for 2026. Trying to make this look a little less horrible, but appreciate all of you guys tuning in on G4 Civic Wars. We're under just under 100 subscribers away from 21,000 here on G4 TV. We definitely want to make that happen for Clinton, Adam, Greg, the entire team here at G4 TV. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Catch you all next week here on ONTrack Weekly. Cam K, see you then.